People, oh, your Praphit's here to get you caught up. All those movies and shows you didn't have time to watch, people. Should you have watched them? Should you have not? Should you be slapping yourself because you didn't watch something? Or should you be glad and praising the Lord because you didn't watch it and waste your time? I will let you know. The rating system, of course, is the worst is genital warts. Next up is FLAN. Next up is Kristen Stewart, goes both ways. Next up is Obama. And the best rating you can get is Purple Rain. Let's fucking go. Salem's Lot. It's our first movie here. You'll remember that movie. It popped up around Halloween on Max. But most of us couldn't be bothered to watch it because we were too busy watching the classics, as we should have been. And it didn't get good word of mouth either. So how was it, people? So pretty much the main vamp baddie was trapped inside some sort of box in some town full of dopes. And the dopes of that town set the main vamp baddie free. Now the main vamp baddie is killing people and eating people and trying to turn the whole town into vampires, right? It's pretty simple and pretty boring. Somehow everything I just said with the killing and such, and the eating and turning of the people is boring. This movie took itself way too seriously, and there was not enough blood in it, or sex. If you know we're dealing with vampires, vampires are all about blood and sex, and funny. Vampires love jokes. A lot of people don't know that. I'm giving this grade FLAN. Next up, we have Pharrell's crappy Lego story. And it is what it sounds like. A story of Pharrell told in Legoland. A creative idea, kind of. I think the whole Lego thing is a bit overdone at this point. But the problem is, like, no one cares about Pharrell's story. Like, nobody. Nobody cares about the story. I feel bad for that. I feel bad for Pharrell. But it is, like I said, what it is. Now, if Lady Gaga had done something like this, or Kanye, or Madonna, or Will Smith, boom, you know, but Pharrell did this, so, meh. That's the truth. This is the truth, people. I'm sorry, Pharrell, it's truth. Truth sucks, I know. I'm giving this grade FLAN. Next, we have Woman of the Hour. Anna Kendrick doing her thing. She's getting stalked by some creep. It's horrifying. You know, Anna Kendrick is great. It's every woman's nightmare. He's stalked by some sort of creep. You don't know what he's going to do. All right, but it just wasn't original enough for me. We've seen this story, heard the story all the time. I'm sorry to be bored by this kind of story, but I'm bored by it, people. Now, this story was told in Legoland. Oh, then you had something, but they didn't do this. They didn't do that. Anna Kendrick did not do a Lego story of her being stalked. So I'm giving this grade FLAN. Too much FLAN, people. Be better. Next, Agatha sucked all along. I mean, it is there in the title, right? Doesn't get good until the last few episodes. Up until that, the show pretty much stinks. But yeah, the last few episodes, if you want to wait around for that, are good. And I don't know who this show is for. You know, old ladies who are LGBT, comic book nerds who happen to have their LGBT grandkids living with them. I don't know who this show is for. For them, I don't know. All you need to know is that Catherine Hahn is a good actor and funny and has a great ass. And I guess you should also know that one of Wanda's sons is somehow now alive. I don't know how. I don't know. It just had too much of a nerdy voodoo magic vibe for me. But I'm sure this magical son will appear at some point with the Young Avengers, if that's even still going to be a thing. I don't know. Although at this point, all the Young Avengers that they're hoping to have aren't going to be young anymore by the time they get that movie or show made. So I'm giving this great FLAN again. But you know what? Rainbow flag sticking out of the FLAN this time. How about that? The Heretic is next. It's about a creepy old white man with his religion, a tale we all know all too well. But how about through the lens of horror? Yes. Yeah, that too. I suppose we also know about it that way too, the Catholic Church and all, and demons possessing everybody in Hollywood. You know, that's pretty much, well, the Exorcist kind of ruined all that. But have you heard of the creepy old white man religion story starring Hugh Grant? No, you have not. You haven't had creepy old religion guy Hugh Grant. No. So yes, it's good. I love this movie. I don't really know. I can't really spoil anything. You know, these two white girls with their religion came around Hugh. Hugh wasn't really feeling it. And then the horror had to take place. It just had to take place. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what we got going on. He's got some religious action too. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to religion and when it comes to being a creepy old white man and when it comes to horror. Yes. I love this movie. Praphit 9 for sure. I'm giving this grade Obama. Creepy Obama. Next up, we have Red One. It's pretty much The Rock engaged in some Christmas bullshit. But if you're drunk around the holidays, which I'm sure you will be, then it won't be too bad. Giving this grade Christmas FLAN. That's right, Christmas flan. Next up, people, we have Time Cut. Pretty much a group of kids bleeping around with time and then found out, people. They found out. Can't just mess around with time. Time is a bad bitch with a blade. And bad dialogue. Real bad dialogue. And the blade didn't really save the movie, really. It's just a lot of bad dialogue. But it's a lot of teens. That's normally bad dialogue. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. I'm being really honest. And the teenagers ought to be ashamed of themselves. That's probably the problem with the youth today. Now, I don't want to get into a whole thing what's wrong with the youth, but they ain't got no shame. That's the problem. But if you're a teenager trying to, get to second or third base around the holidays with your crush who snuck into the room through the window, then this is a solid movie to put on in the background while you get into some naughty action. You know what I'm saying? There you go. I'm giving this grade flan a naughty flan, though. You're so dirty. I love it. Lastly, people, we have Murder Mindfully. This is on Netflix, show on Netflix. I'm trying to think where this is. German. I think it's a German dramedy show on Netflix, I think. The Sin of Murder is no laughing matter, people. But apparently this German show, they think it is. So you have a corrupt lawyer who finds a spirit of Zen in murdering folks. And that's pretty much his religion. So if religion isn't working for you, or booze, or meditation, or weed, try murder. That's what I've learned from watching this. I'm giving this grade Obama. You're caught up.
Truly sucked.